WCW Worldwide, you will see the British Bulldog in singles competition. The NWA champion Barry Windham will be here. A special tag match. The Wrecking Crew collide with Marcus Alexander Bagwell and Too Cold Scorpio. The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, talks about his involvement in World Championship Wrestling. And today, the finals of the WCW World Television Title Tournament. Eric Watts against Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. All this and more on WCW Worldwide.
Worldwide is on the air. Jesse the Body, who do you like? Eric Watts or Paul Orndorff with the championship of the World TV Tournament?
I'm going with my friend, the veteran, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
I thought you would say that. That match is still to come, plus a special announcement from the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Let's go to the ring. Our first match this week here on Worldwide. Well, you hear the fans. Jesse Ventura, the Wrecking Crew on into the ring, and we're waiting the arrival of one of the great young tag teams, Too Cold Scorpio and Marcus Alexander Bagwell.
Well, I'll tell you what, these two young men are on a roll because they've been undefeated for 3, 4, 5 weeks straight now in Worldwide here. Too Cold Scorpio and Marcus Alexander. Look at this guy. Look at this bozo. He looks like you, trying to dance like Too Cold.
You think I look like that?
Is that one of your relatives?
Well, in theory, Jesse, we're all related somehow. You know, you and I are related, in theory. Don't look at me like that.
Whose theory? Not Einstein's.
Mike Atkins, the referee. Good to have you with us. We will crown a new World Television Champion later on the hour. Eric Watts, Paul Orndorff set to go in that one. Plus, we will talk to Ric Flair. He has some very special information about his part in Worldwide in the weeks to come. That's very exciting. Standing side headlock, no question about it. Two power men going to try to take their power and try to mow these two youngsters over, Jess.
Absolutely. Got Rage in the ring against Marcus Bagwell.
Shoulder block over the top goes Rage. Bagwell sends him out of the corner and a drop kick. And an arm drag takedown once again, trying to keep the big man off his feet.
And I'll tell you, Scorpio and Bagwell, as I said on the outset, are on a roll right now. These two young guys looking to get a shot at the newly crowned champions that we saw last week, Shivani.
That's right.
Stunning Steve and Flying Brian, the new World Tag Champions.
Double team that time out of the corner. And, you know, I need to say something about that. I mean,
Do you really need to?
Well, there was a lot of celebration going on last week, with you and the tag team champions. Why are you celebrating with them? I mean,
because I like them.
But
they're my friends. Don't you celebrate with friends?
Well,
but then again, you maybe don't have no friends.
No, I wouldn't say that. Side headlock.
Well, that's right. We saw your friend at the outset of the program here.
Shoulder block. And that was not the good thing to do for Too Cold Scorpio.
Well, look at Fury. Challenge him to do it again. Whoa, and he knocks the cold man down.
He wants you to do it again, and you know that Scorpio will oblige. Over the top he goes. And again. Scorpio, big shoulder this time. Got him down. Drop kick, got him down again.
Arm drag, takedown, and into the bar by the Too Cold Scorpio out of Colorado.
Tag is made, and here is Bagwell. It always gets down to teamwork, Jess, as you know.
Double drop kick.
Double drop kick, here's a cover. 1, 2, be it teamwork in wrestling holds, or teamwork if you take the tag team belt and knock out the champions with it, or take the towel and choke somebody with it. It takes teamwork.
Absolutely. You're learning, Shivani.
I can only call what I see. Full arm drag and twist applied there by Bagwell into a side headlock.
You've been practicing with that towel when you come out of the shower?
Nope.
A towel can win you a title, so can a belt to the head. Literally.
We saw that last week, shoulder blocked out. That time Bagwell hit the left side ropes, and that's where Rage was waiting with a big knee. And that has certainly changed the complexion of this match, and now the big strong man taking over.
Absolutely. Bagwell had everything going his way till he hit those ropes, and Rage was waiting, as you said, with the knee. Turned the tide of the match.
Put him down. Mike Atkins gives a 2 count that time, and Bagwell a tag is made into the rib cage, and now they are focusing on what happened early on when the knee got to the rib cage. Rage picking up Bagwell, planting him down nicely. Here's a cover. 1, 2, no sir. Bagwell kicks away.
Bagwell, a tough kid. Ooh, turns him over into a half crab right here. This could be a submission, Shivani. Look at him turning towards his partner. Watch, here comes the assist move. Can feel it coming.
The assist move, you say?
Yep.
You mean they're going to cheat?
Might. If they're smart, they will.
Tell you what, they're tough as nails, though, aren't they, the Wrecking Crew?
Absolutely.
2 tough guys.
There's a legal tag right there. Ref didn't see it, so they'll tag it once more. Woo, and the big elbow. Dropped by Fury on Marcus Alexander Bagwell. And the young second-year man in trouble.
Sent him in. Bagwell trying a sunset flip, and he got it 1. Not a 2 count. Fury is up, pounding on the back, and they are continuing to work on the back of Bagwell, and Bagwell desperately needs to get Too Cold in here.
Yeah, but the Wrecking Crew ain't about to let him tag.
Of course they're not.
If they keep cutting the ring off, Bagwell's going to get beat.
All right. Rage is in. Bagwell close enough to make a tag, but Fury prevents him once again. So they are cutting Bagwell away. Keeping him in their corner now. The 2 big strong guys. Snapmare takeover. And now the reverse chin lock by Rage.
And the knee to the back. And another quick tag.
Certainly, you know, Jess, we saw last week how Austin and Pillman swiped the tag team belts away from Steamboat and Douglas.
Say what?
Swiped them away.
Swiped them.
Moving out of the way, by the way, Bagwell.
You're accusing them of being thieves.
Well, what I was trying to lead
Go
up
on the record. Let's hear it.
Can he make a tag here? A tag has been made. Bagwell flips in, and Scorpio comes in.
And here goes the Cold Man. Lefts and rights and a beautiful drop kick off the ropes.
Spin kick. Super kick. And now Bagwell in. Now Scorpio is the legal man here. Oh my goodness. The Wrecking Crew clotheslines itself. Scorpio, yeah! It's over.
What a move.
Too Cold Scorpio, Marcus Alexander Bagwell. That must propel them up the ladder towards Austin and Pillman, the World Tag Team Champions, wouldn't you say?
Well, it's certainly not going to hurt them. No doubt about that. They stay on a roll, Scorpio and Bagwell, and look at this. Nobody does this except the Cold Man. Too Cold Scorpio does a complete 360 flip and gets the 3 count, keeps his team on a roll.
Coming up next, the NWA champ Barry Windham. Right now, WCW Magazine.
I'm Tony Gillum. Welcome to this edition of the WCW Magazine. Coming up next on Worldwide, the finals of the WCW World Television Title Tournament. Standing by the 2 finalists, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff and the young lion Eric Watts. They both have comments.
This is it. It's the TV title, something I've been waiting for. My opponent, Paul Orndorff. I've watched you through your career. There's some things I've admired, and there's some things that I don't. Paul Orndorff, I'm sure you're going to come in thinking that this young gun, this guy's an underdog. Well, I've been the underdog before. It was the Tempe Fiesta Bowl, and you saw what happened there. Any given night, anyone can win in pro wrestling. There's one thing for you to look out for, and that's the STF. Put on anyone, any size, any time. You're going to give up.
You know, Eric Watts, you grew up watching Mr. Wonderful. And you also grew up and watched me take your father in his wrestling career. Where you get up here and you say there's a lot of things you admire, but there's a lot of things you don't like what I'm doing. Well, Mr. Wonderful can do anything he wants to. And you're going to get the gut check of your life in just a few minutes. Because I'm going to walk out of that ring with that World TV belt. Bank on it.
There you have it from the two finalists in the TV title tournament. A special update, fans. Sting defeated Big Van Vader in Wembley Arena in London on March the 11th. But on St. Patrick's Day, Big Van Vader regained the World Heavyweight title by defeating Sting. Worldwide Wrestling continues in just a moment.
NWA champion Barry Windham, and take a look at that beautiful gold belt he has around his waist. Something he's very proud of. Hello, Jesse.
Yeah, he's proud of it, but I'll tell you what. That belt just seems to me to have Ric Flair's name on it.
Why would you say something like that?
Why? What, do you got no memory?
Brad Anderson, the opponent. We had some pre-recorded comments from the NWA champion, Barry Windham.
Every time I turn around, somebody's telling me that Mr. Ric Flair is back in town. Well, I'll tell you what, I've got no comment about Ric Flair. And right here, I've got the proof that I'm the very best at what I do, and I will take on all comers, and I will be victorious in all of my bouts.
Well, Barry Windham, certainly quite the champion, wants to put anything about Ric Flair behind him and talk about his NWA title. And let's not, Jesse, by talking about Flair, taint the victory. He defeated a great athlete, the Great Muta, to become NWA champion.
I'm not taking that away from him. All I said, Schiavone, is when I look at that belt, I see the name Ric Flair.
Windham picks up Anderson, puts him down. One thing that got Barry Windham to this point in his career has been his great execution. Known, at least recently, for being a very big, tough Texan brawler, he is also a complete wrestler.
Absolutely. Take nothing away from Barry Windham. He has the size, he has the strength, he has everything going for him. Look at the gut wrench. Ooh. Brad Anderson down on that canvas.
Anderson slow to get to his feet. Windham very methodical now. Being the NWA champ, of course, you have to defend that belt worldwide, and I mean everywhere. Big demands from promoters in Japan.
And what an awful place that is to go.
Covers 1, 2. Windham just recently completed a tour of Ireland and the UK. Understand negotiations are going on to bring the NWA champion possibly to Germany. So, busy schedule for the NWA champion, as well as the World Heavyweight champion, Big Van Vader. Barry moved out of the way that time.
Brushed Brad Anderson aside.
Here he goes.
Get ready.
The jumping DDT from Barry Windham covers him. 1, 2, 3. This one's history. Barry Windham is your winner. When we come back, Davey Boy Smith on Worldwide. The British Bulldog, as we return to WCW Worldwide. The Union Jack, right on the back of that cage there, Jesse the Body.
Absolutely, Davey Boy Smith. Cornrows and the Union Jack.
One of the great international superstars, there is Chris Sullivan, his opponent. Should be a good matchup. Good to have you with us on Worldwide. Still to come. Paul Orndorff, Eric Watts, the final match. What was a 16-man tournament. We will crown a new World Television Champion later on, plus a talk, an exclusive talk with Ric Flair about his involvement in World Championship Wrestling and in Worldwide in the weeks to come, and Heavy Metal Van Hammer. The power of Davey Boy Smith, something that Chris Sullivan wants to try to stay away from.
And Davey Boy Smith, as we all know, he's made it plain and clear. He's focused on one man, the World Heavyweight Champion, Big Van Vader. He wants his shot. He said his wrestling career is not complete until he gets a shot at the world title.
Into the midsection. Sullivan, open hand slap that time, and it was right on target. Now he goes right to the ear. Shooting Davey Boy. No, Davey Boy held his ground nicely, missed an elbow. Sullivan, that was a Davey Boy Smith clothesline below the chest region.
Well, Davey Boy just kind of held that massive arm out there, and Sullivan hit it and flipped head over tea kettle to the mat. Look at this, textbook suplex. Look at the strength. He holds that guy up there probably all afternoon if he wanted to.
I'm sure he could.
But what goes up must come down, Schiavone.
We're just full of cliches tonight, aren't we?
And it comes down hard. You got a frog in your pocket?
Up with an armbar. Davey Boy Smith grinding in on Chris Sullivan. I tell you, a match between Davey Boy Smith and Big Van Vader, power against power.
It's going to be interesting because, you know, I don't know if Vader's ever met somebody who can match power with him. I don't know for certain if Davey Boy is as strong as Van Vader, but it's one I'm looking forward to finding out. Who is the stronger man?
That's right. And in the meantime, we'll find out who will be the World Heavyweight Champion once WCW signs that match. Davey Boy Smith with a clothesline. Hoisting Sullivan up.
Uh-oh. I wonder if he could hoist Vader up like that.
He probably could. Not with as much ease. Here's a cover after the running slam. Got it. Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, chalks up yet another win, undefeated so far in his tenure here in World Championship Wrestling there, buddy.
He's on the trail of the heavyweight champion, Van Vader. And there's the Davey Boy Smith British Bulldog Power Slam. Cover Sullivan, gets the 3 count, chalks up another one. The British Bulldog.
When we come back, World TV title. Yes, sir, Eric Watts, all under.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final match in the World TV Tournament. It is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. The winner of this match will be crowned the new World Television Champion. Introducing first to my left from Tampa, Florida. He weighs 251 pounds, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. His opponent from Bixby, Oklahoma, 258 pounds, Eric Watts.
Well, Jesse Ventura, this will be a one-fall, 15-minute time limit, which is your standard time limit for a World Television title match. In the championship, the veteran, Paul Orndorff, and the youngster, Eric Watts. It's got to be the biggest moment of his young professional career, Eric Watts. He's done a lot with that STF. You know, I know, Arn Anderson knows, but now he's on the verge of being a champion.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what. You know, you got to give the advantage with experience and strength to Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, but Eric Watts seems to be blessed with a lot of luck. He seems to manage to win, and that can be very important. And if he manages against Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, I'll be the most surprised man in the building.
Well, you've heard the old cliche, I'd rather be lucky than good. Luck certainly comes into play.
That sounds like your golf game, Schiavone.
Yeah, I guess it does. Wrist lock is applied by Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff out of a full arm dragon twist. Got Watts down to one knee. Watts has the height advantage here and thus the weight advantage, but certainly we've seen Orndorff go up against some big men in his career there, Jeff.
He's got the height and weight advantage, but Wonderful's stronger. You can tell by the physique that Mr. Wonderful's the more powerful of the two. Plus, Mr. Wonderful is the veteran. He's seen it all. There's nothing that's going to surprise him. Eric Watts has not seen it all.
However, one thing we do have to keep in mind, look at that drop toe hold from Orndorff. He has that STF. If he gets it on, he can end the match that quickly, regardless of if Paul Orndorff's in charge by this time.
Absolutely, but by the same token, Mr. Wonderful has the patented pile driver. If he manages to do that, he's going to knock Eric Watts into Never Never Land and send him back to Bixby, Oklahoma. And who would really want to go back there? That'd be like being sentenced to purgatory.
Well, I don't know. I can't answer that one. The hammerlock is applied. One thing we can say, though, and Eric Watts has really developed into a short period of time. Trying to elevate Orndorff, nicely done by Eric Watts. Not only that, and I must say this honestly, he is one of the nicest young men you'll ever want to meet.
Yeah, but remember what they say, Schiavone, nice guys finish last.
Yeah, I know. I should have known. And that is not always the case.
Well, you're a nice guy, and I've never seen you finish anywhere but last.
Uppercut. Orndorff driving Eric Watts back down. Orndorff's going to make sure that he has the upper hand, not enabling Watts to get that STF on. That's how dangerous the move is. So Orndorff has to wrestle offensively and defensively at the same time.
Absolutely, but Orndorff, the veteran that he is, he's capable of doing that. He can keep Eric Watts down on the mat like he is right here, working the arm over.
The winner becomes the new WCW World Television Champion. Will defend the title here on TV and on our many television programs in the WCW Television Network. Good to have you with us wherever you are on Worldwide. Here in the month of April. It's April Fool's Day, and you still haven't gotten me yet, have you?
April Fool's Day was a couple days ago, Schiavone. You are the April Fool.
It's April Fool weekend, let me say. For some of us, it lasts all April. Right to the arm again goes Orndorff.
In your case, you're a fool all year long.
And did he take him down by the hair or not was the question there. Look at this, has the arm. Oh my goodness, that has to be very painful.
See, Mr. Wonderful knows the tricks of the trade like that. Bend the wrist a little half-inch this way, drop the knee into it that way, cause the pain, cause the hurt. Eric Watts hasn't learned all those little techniques yet.
That arm is one of the primary weapons, that arm, left arm of Eric Watts of the STF. He sends that arm as a crossface right up against the skull, so to speak, in the jaw. And that's what he's doing, taking it away from him.
Eric Watts going to wish he was back playing football for Howard Schnellenberger.
Schnellenberger.
Shuffleberger, Schnellenberger, whatever.
Right to the wrist. Wrist lock applied. Watts coming right out of that one, and now he is going to the arm of Orndorff. Pretty solid game plan by both men here, wouldn't you say so, Jess?
Well, both of them doing a lot of wrestling. Again, they got to be aggressive. What happens? If it goes 15, do we go into sudden death? Obviously.
I'm sure we do. There you go. Make the rules as you go. That's what you live by, don't you?
Well, we got to come up with something. This match could very easily go 15.
Certainly could. It would be like a sudden death. In reality, we said one fall, 15 minutes. That's where the World Television title will be once it get around some man's waist. Here, it's one fall basically to a finish here, Jess.
And Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful, again going back to working on that arm of Eric Watts. And as long as he's in that position, he don't have to fear no STF.
Tell you one thing, you think about this match, Jesse, and what's going to transpire. Win or lose, be World Television Champion or not for Eric Watts, he's going to get a tremendous education out of this match. Would you agree with that one?
Yes, he will.
Good. Glad you agreed. Orndorff pulling that middle rope this time.
And Orndorff's just the guy that can take him to school, Schiavone. The school of hard knocks. Ha!
I mean, cliches are flying all around this building tonight. Here on the arm again.
You keep it up, you'll be flying around the building.
I'll pass, thank you. The wrist lock applied. Watts got a jab in that time. Trying to get away, a warning. He kicked him that time, and look at Orndorff fire back with big forearm blows. Got him down! Got a 2 count, the closest near fall we've had this time. But notice how Orndorff tries to drive him back down once again, Jess.
Wow, Eric Watts almost pulled one out of the hat right there. Caught Mr. Wonderful, but you can see how quick Mr. Wonderful back to his feet, back to working that arm again. You're signaling me to do your job?
I just like for you to keep talking.
You're
right now,
play-by-play, play-by-play.
Well, sometime you lapse into it. You ever listen to yourself?
Certainly, if something happens, I gotta call it.
The hammerlock is applied. Orndorff, Eric Watts. It began with 16 men. And it began back in the month of February. Here we are in the month of April, and now it's down to 2. Like we said, the biggest moment in Eric Watts' career, and he has to go through one of the great veterans in this sport. Sending to the near side, drop kick. He held on nicely to Eric Watts. And he hits him with an elbow from the other arm. Nicely done. Great way to adapt, Eric Watts. Driving down on the arm again.
Now it's interesting. Eric Watts working over the arm of Mr. Wonderful. Wouldn't he be smarter to go after the leg?
You're the wrestler, you tell me.
Set up for the STF? Interesting.
You're the analyst here.
Maybe he realizes he can't get the STF on Mr. Wonderful.
There you go. 2 count. He almost got a 3 count that time. Orndorff, I think he was surprised his shoulders were down. Look at this. I don't think I've ever seen a pity predicament like that, using a hammerlock to pull the guy over to put his shoulders down, Jess. Well, we've seen some great wrestling in this match.
And there's Eric Watts with the hammerlock into the half Nelson right there. But Mr. Wonderful with the foot on the rope requires a break.
This has become a great wrestling match between the veteran and the youngster, Eric Watts and Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. Both men apparently applying the same strategy, going to each other's arm. Standing side headlock that time by Eric Watts.
Watts grinding on that headlock, but here goes Wonderful firing him in. Oh, what a cheap shot kick.
A cheap shot kick.
Well, I mean, all this good wrestling, and then he kicks the guy. I thought he's a scientific wrestler.
Well, haven't you also said fight fire with fire?
I don't
whatever
care.
It takes to win.
Wonderful hasn't kicked him.
So?
Oh, it's okay now. If one of your favorites is doing it, then it's all fine and dandy.
I'm not saying that, Jesse.
Yes, you are.
This is, and once again he goes back to wrestling. A little kick to the chest
with the point of the boot,
and he's on the arm again. He's got Eric rolled up. Does Orndorff? Watch out! 1, 2. Oh, that was close.
And look at Wonderful using the rope.
Yes, and Eric's telling the referee, "Hey, I'm in the ropes. I'm in the ropes," and the referee's going to see it.
Well, if he's in the ropes, the referee should break it, right?
Maybe he didn't see it.
Oh, right. He didn't see it. What is the guy, blind?
He didn't call for the break. That's all I know. Good to have you with us here on Worldwide. We saw just a week ago the World Tag Team Championship change from Steamboat Douglas to Austin Pillman, and this week we're going to see a new World Television Champion crowned, and it's going to be a scientific wrestling match, apparently. At least it has been so far.
Except for Eric Watts' little kicks.
Okay, except for that kick. Shoulder block. Ah! Cheap shot on the outside by Paul Orndorff.
Cheap shot announcing by Tony Schiavone.
And an elbow to the back.
Now Wonderful's taking it out to the floor. Now we're going to find out how tough the kid is.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. This is where Orndorff excels.
Orndorff lulls him to sleep with all the wrestling, and now at the right time, the veteran starts roughing it up.
And Watts barely can stand, but he's still, look at that determination to get back towards the ring area. Yes, he slipped an elbow in. So showing Orndorff he has plenty of tenacity, plenty of resiliency here. Watts is back into it, but no, Orndorff stops him cold. Oh my.
Could not get enough momentum on Mr. Wonderful, and Wonderful drives the fist in, now drives his head into that mat. You notice he's starting to work the head over now. That's a setup for the pile driver. Putting the kicks into the upper back area. Giving Watts a taste of his own medicine here.
Into the ropes. Big clothesline, Orndorff. Paul Orndorff now on the outside. He may be going to end it all right here, Jesse, with a high-risk maneuver. Looks there. Watts caught him nicely with a shot to the gut and a mule kick that time. And Watts fighting with Paul Orndorff and getting these licks in here.
Now the wrestling's gone out the window, and here comes the fight.
Here comes the fight, is exactly right.
This is the part I like best.
Orndorff. Watts slips around behind. He's going to try to roll him up. He didn't get him.
Rolled him up a little too far.
No, didn't get the shoulder. Didn't get him rolled up. And now Orndorff, sends his head to the turnbuckle. Middle turnbuckle. Tried to roll him up. And a belly to back from Orndorff. Paul Orndorff.
Orndorff on the offense right here. Setting him up for the pile driver.
Got it. His leaping pile driver. Paul Orndorff makes the cover. We got a new champion.
A gallant fight by Eric Watts from the veteran Mr. Wonderful.
Well, this match had a little bit of everything.
It absolutely did, Shivani. I can tell you're bitter. Your favorite got beat, but he got beat by a better man, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
Ric Flair has made a triumphant return to WCW, surrounded by beefed-up security that are present here in one of Ric's favorite Italian restaurants. First of all, Ric, I want to thank you for joining us here, but right off the bat, I want to address the obvious questions. A lot of people want to know why you're here, but before we do that, let's go back to Super Brawl 3, your return to WCW. You stepped into the ring in a very intense moment, and you actually helped strap the NWA Championship belt around the waist of Barry Windham when he defeated the Great Muta. What was going through your mind at that moment?
Well, Eric, very simply, I was taken by the moment. It's my opinion that Barry won what is considered to be the most coveted trophy in all of professional wrestling, the NWA title. If you look at the history of that championship, it was worn by some of the greatest wrestlers to ever put on a pair of boots. Talking about the Funk Brothers, Dorian Terry, I'm talking about Jack Briscoe, Lou Thez, Dusty Rhodes, Sting, I mean, Harley Race himself, who now manages Big Van Vader, wore on 7 different occasions. And least but not last, I wore it on 7 different occasions. So naturally, I feel like that is the most coveted trophy in professional wrestling. And I was taken by the moment. I was happy for Barry. I wanted to share that moment with him. However, I think Barry looked at me in a different light, and you know, Barry has a problem with the fact that I wanted to congratulate him and make him aware of how happy I was for him personally. Then that's something he'll have to live with. And I merely wanted to get in the ring, congratulate him, and help him share that moment of glory.
Another thing I want to talk about with regard to Barry Windham, and I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but anytime anyone has tried to approach Barry Windham and tried to get comments from him about you, Barry Windham has flat out refused to answer those questions. In fact, he's just walked right away from an interview. Any idea why that may be?
I'm really not sure. Let me go on record as saying that I think every wrestler alive knows that Barry and I have competed against each other. We have competed with each other. I've known Barry since he first started in professional wrestling. I knew his father very well. Going back to what I said earlier, Barry right now is wearing what I consider to be the most coveted trophy in the sport, the NWA heavyweight title. And I think, unfortunately, Barry realizes that if he's really going to be considered the NWA champion, at some point in time he's going to have to deal with Ric Flair. I'm not presenting that problem for him. I'm sure he hears it from the wrestling fans. I'm sure it's in the back of his mind. He's wearing a title that I never lost, and I think that that's a problem that Barry will have to deal with.
Listening to you, I have to be honest with you. I have the sense that in your own way, you're saying you were here to take that NWA title away from Barry Windham. Am I right?
Well, let's not be too cagey, Eric. I'm not here for any other reason right now than just be part of WCW. I'm happy to be back. We know WCW to be the biggest wrestling promotion in the country. It's worldwide now. The guys just came back from a tremendous tour of Europe, and I'm not really ready to tip my hand as to what I'm back for. You've got Barry Windham, the NWA title holder. You've got Big Van Vader, the WCW World Heavyweight title holder. You've got Rick Rude, you've got Steamboat. I mean, the list of great wrestlers in WCW is endless. And when the time is right, Ric Flair will make himself known.
All right, Rick, before we let you go, we have to talk about Missy Hyatt. Ever since you've returned to WCW, Missy Hyatt has been on the scene. She's trying desperately to get an interview with Ric Flair. Or does she have something that she want to tell you? What's going on with Missy Hyatt?
Well, I don't know Missy that well personally, but Missy's not unlike any other woman. They know what's going on. And when you're a hot item, you got to share that wealth. Missy will have her turn, and when I'm ready to talk things over with Missy, it'll happen.
Once again, Rick, I want to thank you for joining us. Those comments from Ric Flair.
You know, I've often wondered why guys wear masks in the ring.
So have I. And what's your answer since you've been in the ring? You've wrestled masked guys before.
I'm not certain. Is it because they're so ugly or because they, you know, one thing good, if you get beat, nobody knows who you are.
Exactly. And of course, you may be in trouble with the law or the IRS or something.
But then again, if you win, nobody knows who you are.
Yeah, that's right. Unless you wear your mask to the restaurant that night.
It's a double-edged sword, I guess. Masked Wrecker driving Heavy Metal Van Hammer into the corner.
Hammer was in trouble that time, and that right hand by Heavy Metal Van Hammer staggered the big guy back. Heavy Metal Van Hammer still has his attention focused to one Vinny Vegas.
He just plain don't like Vinny, does he?
He just doesn't like him.
I personally like Vinny.
I know, I'm sure you do. Do you spend any time in Vegas?
Not too often.
Shoulder block. Over the top. Look at that, hip toss.
I don't even play the lottery, let alone gamble, Shivani.
Cover. What do you do with all your money?
Buy Porsches, Harley Davidsons.
Over the top he goes.
I know what you, whoa, look at this slingshot suplex.
Yes, sir.
He can win it here.
His hammer rocks, but over. 1, 2, this one's over.
And I do know what Tony Schiavone does with all his money. Heavy Metal Van Hammer. Shivani, what does he do with his money? He feeds thousands of children.
We'll be back after WCW Magazine. Welcome to the final edition of the WCW Magazine. Ladies and gentlemen, last week right here on Worldwide Wrestling, new tag team champions were crowned. Flying Brian Pillman and Stunning Steve Austin, the team of the 90s, self-proclaimed Hollywood Blondes, defeated Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Shane Douglas in a questionable manner. Standing by with comments, the new WCW World Tag Team Champions, the Hollywood Blondes.
You didn't have to be a rocket scientist to figure it out, did you? You take the two world-class premier athletes this sport has ever seen, and you combine them, and look what happens. The gold, baby. The newest dynasty in professional sports, the team of the 90s, the big blonde machine has just started their reign.
You know, Brian, when you're the champions of the world, there's a lot of decisions that have to be made. And part of those decisions is who we're going to face next in our quest to stay at the top. Be it known that we dictate who we will wrestle. Maybe next week it'll be those coal miner brothers or whoever. Steamboat and Douglas are at the bottom of the list, and that's for sure.
Those comments from the new World Tag Team Champions. Ricky Steamboat and Shane Douglas say they are in line for World Tag Team title shot. But Flying Brian and Stunning Steve Austin say not a chance. Pick a number. Teams like Too Cold Scorpio, Marcus Alexander Bagwell, Vinny Vegas and Big Sky, they get a shot first. We'll be back with more Worldwide Wrestling right after this timeout.
Tremendous program here on Worldwide with the enforcer Arn Anderson. As you said before, the leg is nursing back to health. And let's talk about you and what you see for you down the road here in World Championship Wrestling, Arn.
Well, Tony, I've always been a team player. The last few months, I figured out the hard way what it's like to be alone. See, when you're rehabbing injury, the magnitude of the one I had, there's nobody can help you through it. It's something you got to do on your own. And one day it occurred to me while I was going through some painful therapy that I'd never done anything in my career on my own. I've spent my whole career helping other people make their careers, sacrificing some of my goals, some of my wants, some of my needs, so the whole group flourished. Back in the days of the Four Horsemen, I would sometimes do things that I didn't think were right, but I did them for the good of the unit. But it's come a point in my career right now when I want to do something for myself. I want to wake up one morning and feel what the past champions have felt. What it's like to be a world champion. Something you achieved on your own. Something you held on to by yourself with no help from anybody else. That's what's ahead for me. You're looking at a new Arn Anderson, reborn. That's where my goal is, to be world heavyweight champion.
Okay, fair enough. And what's this with Missy Hyatt trying to get to Nature Boy Ric Flair? What's she want anyway?
We've told Missy Hyatt she wants to party. Well and good. We've told her there's time for a party later on, Missy. Right now it's time to take care of business.
Okay, Arn Anderson with us this week on Worldwide. And for Jesse the Body Ventura, we'll see you next week with the superstars of WCW.